Hi everybody, this is Tanya. I'm making a wreath for my niece. She is moving. I'm in Missouri. She's moving. We're in Missouri right now. That's where I live. That's where we all grew up. And she is moving with her fiance to West Virginia. So I'm making them a wreath for their new front door because they got a house. Hold on. That's what started. Her favorite color is yellow. But I thought I'd talk to you about a few tips when you're making a wreath. Sometimes, especially if there's words, hold on, especially if there's words like this, you'll have to cut the flower so that you can still read the words. Now, when you're cutting a flower, yeah, I had to cut a carnation here, but cut the very under petals right here. And so you can cover it up and it still looks normal, but the petal is not in your way. If you can, cut the under petals. It's easier so no one will know that you've cut that particular flower. Glue stick. I'm so excited for her. Yes, we're going to be all at the wedding. We're just going to have to, figure that all out. But she's coming here Saturday, and we're going to have a little pizza party. Kind of a going away thing. Ow. I need to get some of those, what do you call them, the little plastic things you put on your fingertips so when you're dealing with hot glue, you don't burn yourself. I keep meaning to buy some, but I always find something else I want instead. No, I'm actually trying to save money. It's going all right, I guess. I have a new setup in the craft room. Here, let me see if I can show you. I did this to hold some of the flowers that are going to be, and things that are going to be worked on right away. Didn't cost me much. Everything except for the dowel rods was secondhand. So, except for the dowel rods and the flowers. Mom had the hooks. Someone gave me the basket, which makes it great to hold carnations and stuff where I need them, but they're not on the tabletop. So, if you're going to do a color theme when you're doing your wreaths, let me move the camera just a little bit. Like my haircut? If you're going to do a wreath that's a color theme like this one, be sure you have your accent colors. For example, there's green here, a light green. There's orange with the sunflowers and these other flowers. And I have some white and just a hair of pink with these little. I might put a little bit of purple in there, but you don't have to. Let me look for it. Give me a second. I had purple and Archer knocked over my basket. Lovely. Thank you, buddy. Love you too. Okay. Sorry about that. If you're going to put accents of other colors like purple and you don't want to distract from your pink, or listen to me, from your main color, rather, which is yellow, I keep a separate basket full of these little bitty flowers. This will be perfect to accent the purple. For a purple accent. I'm sorry, my tongue keeps getting stuck in my eye teeth. But we have other colors here that are yellows with some of the same colors that are in the wreath if you want that. But you also have little Johnny jump ups, little white flowers, which probably will go on here. But these little bitty flowers they can really accent what you're working on and make it pop a little more. So don't throw away those little flowers. Keep them, and it's easier to keep them separate. It's taken me since 8 o'clock this morning to drink this whole thing. I got a problem with my throat, so we're getting some testing done to see what's up. Watch the tail, dude. Watch the tail. Thank you. He was handing me a flower. Say, I'm still service, doggo. Want to say hi to everybody? Say hi, guys. Say hi. Say hi. Hi. Yeah. Hi. They're goofing off. My little ones. They got dog slobber on my glasses. I hate that. Okay. Now, but keep your accent colors kind of with your theme. If you're using a centerpiece like this piece of wood, instead of gluing it down, keep a variety of zip ties on hand. Colors don't really matter. You can cover them up with flowers, but you can secure it from the metal to the metal of the wreath. Let me flip this baby around so you can see a little better. See there on the bottom? Right there. There's a zip tie. And then there's two more up top. That's going to help hold your wooden centerpieces a lot better than hot glue. Trust me, I've been there. And I've had things fall apart on me because, well, wrong way to secure it to the wreath form. Now, once I get the centerpiece on, I start with bigger flowers first. It's going to be easier for you to place your bigger flowers, and I always place similar things at the top and the bottom and the two sides, and then I start filling the corners of this in first, and then fill it in with the smaller flowers. Now, you may want to do it a different way, but that's what works for me. And the very last flowers I put on are the accents. And I try to keep baskets around. You should see my floor. It's completely cluttered. I am not a neat freak, but see? I got flowers there, lights here, more flowers. I'm very sorry about that. That was a voicemail. I'll get it later. But I keep my flowers separated into what I'm working on, and similar, like all the carnations that are the same yellows, whites go together, but basically you can do it by color or by type of flower. Roses all together, I do that a lot with the roses. But just organize your craft room any way that works for you. You may be much neater than I am. And if so, great. Want to come over and help me? No, I'm kidding. My mom is really good at organizing, and when I get done with major projects, she comes in and helps me. But it's so nice. She respects that I'm a clutter bug, and she comes in when I ask. And it's great. I love the fact that we can respect each other's space. It makes it a lot easier. And I had a person come in. They were testing, since this was an older home. We made sure to get it tested for lead. Just to make sure, because my great nephews come in, and we, don't want to risk them. So we got it tested for lead, and she goes, and what's back there? And Mom goes, well, that's Tanya's craft room. She goes, don't worry, we won't touch the craft room. I'm like, yes! But just organize things where it makes sense to you. This is your space. It doesn't have to be yours and the family's. If this is just your space, great. I've been drinking a lot of water. I'm paying for the soda because it burns going down, but I'm not contagious or anything. They don't know what's going on. That's the testing. It'll tell us what's going on, but I'm paying for it. But boy, I needed some caffeine, I do drink coffee, but I prefer soda, except in the wintertime. Then I switched to coffee. But just go with your main color now. After you get your big stuff, if you get hot glue in your fingers, rub them together. It'll help get the hot glue off. Get your main flowers down all the way around. pick out a ribbon. Now, when you're picking out a ribbon to hang your wreath form from, you can use twine, that's fine. But I prefer a ribbon. Where did I put the green ribbon, Archie? Oh. Anyway, I prefer ribbon. Don't use this plasticky ribbon for like Christmas packages. That's great for Christmas packages and stuff, but it will not hold your wreath. Your wreath will fall. Use this kind of fabric ribbon or something a little narrower. I have buried on here a green spool. Here it is. This is perfect. This is a thinner ribbon. You can get all kinds of colors. Doesn't cost that much. Dollar Tree. Everybody now calls it $1.25 Tree, but they have a ton of that color, that kind of ribbon. So don't have to spend a lot. But don't use the plasticky ribbon for your Christmas packages to hold your wreath. Use twine, works really well, or the fabric ribbon, because otherwise it will bust. The weight of the wreath can't be held too well unless you're putting like a plastic hook on the back, like a command hook. And if you're using the Dollar Tree hooks with the stick on the back, put a touch of hot glue on there, because the sticky, it doesn't always hold correctly on the. It's even sometimes the command hooks won't hold. So just to be safe, it's okay to add a little super glue to the back of the command hook when you peel off the label to the sticky that's already there. You're not going to hurt anything doing that. Now, when I glue these, I put the glue around the, around the base, where the stem attaches. And then I put it on the wreath by tucking it under the previous flower that's already on the wreath. Tucking it under like a leaf, or if you can get it under the main part of the flower like I'm doing here and burning myself again. Then you can come back in, just like this. And if you got a turntable, it works really well with wreaths too. It's not just for painting. Come back under the bottom part of the flower, and you're going to put glue directly on the wire. It works best this way, at least for me. And then press that bottom petal down. It'll help hold the flower in place, and it won't change the look of the wreath. And then take one of the petals that it's next to. Hold on. Take one of the petals that it's next to and put glue on the back of it, and then smoosh it to the petals so that they're kind of glued together side by side. That's going to help you secure your flowers without having to put, you're not going to have like a spider web of hot glue hanging off. It's going to make that easier for you. Now what I do, and this is why I love my turntable even for wreath making, is I drop carnations in the floor. Yo, dude! Hey, Archie, get me that. Pick that up. Get it. Get it. Pick it up. Thank you. Good boy. I have trouble picking things up. Hence, he's still my helper. He is retired. Arthur did retire. He's been retired for about a year now. He has arthritis. So, he is retired. Now, continue on, and I try to make both sides even. So if I put two carnations on the other side of the sunflowers over here, I stop, immediately go back over to the other side and do the same thing. I like to try to keep my flowers even like that. Again, around the base, and then separate it, push it into the other flower, and then it will, pardon my language, it will be easier to get your flower on your wreath form that way. He must have lost his toy to Tilly, because now he's whining at her. She is the boss between those two. And again, the bottom petal, on the wreath form, just like that. It's that easy, folks. You don't have to spend tons of time or tons of money. You can get flowers on Amazon. You can get them on Temu. I've bought carnations and stuff off Temu before. I look for the better deal, which is 500 flower heads. I don't buy the 5 or 10 flower heads, and especially off Amazon or Temu. I buy only the ones that have major quantities, like 500 or 100 or above. That's just because you're paying for it. You might as well get your money's worth. You know what I mean? But see, now it's even both sides. And when you're picking out your centerpiece, make sure it's big enough, not too big for your wreath form. I got these a little late for Easter, so I'll have to do it next year. But see, this wouldn't have worked as well on the egg-shaped wreath form. See how small the wreath form is? So you want to make sure your centerpieces are appropriately sized if you're using centerpieces. You don't have to. This is your baby. You do you, boo. But, and then just keep going around. Put on music, put on an audiobook, chat with a friend on the phone. Just be careful not to burn yourself. If you're doing other things too, be sure your safety and you don't burn down the house or yourself. And if you have little kids around, this is something you might do while they're napping. Something for you. I love kids, but there's times even if parents need me time and need a hobby to do something fun. My great nephews went bowling with their auntie, Georgia, this last weekend and loved that. So it's a family thing. Now, when you want a little bigger pop of color, these are great too, and you don't have to pull them off the stem. You might cut this down a little, say cut that much off. And make sure your scissors are sharp. If they're not sharp, either sharpen them or get a different pair. And then you can take that, put the bit of glue on the green part and shove it down in between some flower petals, wherever you want it. And it gives it more of a, of course, it exactly matches, so I'd probably get a different color. And don't be afraid to, you don't have to make it all one color. See, I'm going to add some white. And when you're putting flowers next to your centerpiece, if your centerpiece is good and secured, don't be afraid to add a dab of glue to the bottom or top or whatever where it's not going to be seen. And glue your flower on appropriately so that you can make sure everything stays, because this is going to be on a door, so it's going to be in the weather. I've even been known to zip tie flowers that are still on their stems to the wreaths. My friend and I, when she was still alive and I lived with her, we did an upside down Christmas tree every year in our front yard. The first year, we only put the bulbs on with ornament hooks. And we did not realize we would have to be chasing ornaments down when the wind blew. So then after that, we zip tied every ornament on the tree every year. That was my job. Or we took pipe cleaners and twist tied them on. But it's stuff like that no one's going to see your zip ties or your pipe cleaners. Chanel stems, I think people call them now. I've got long ones and I've got short ones. And what I do, because I prefer to deal with the short ones, is I just take the long ones, double them, like this, cut them in the center. Because I've seen places that will sell you a pack of these short ones for twice what they sell you a pack of the long ones for. That's highway robbery. Come on, people, use your brain. No need to do that. Another good way to get craft supplies, now that I'm thinking of it, and I know my talking is rambling, just bear with me, is thrift shops. My local thrift shop is where I got the centerpiece for this one. You never know what you're going to find at a thrift shop or a yard sale. People are always getting rid of things at yard sales. I got a quilt stand. Oh boy! That hurt. I got my friend an Amish made quilt stand for her antique shop for $10 at a yard sale. That's a steal. And it was just, ouch, just a fluke. And I made good friends with that lady at the yard sale. In fact, she's the one that sold me my first ironing board, which I still have. It's in the closet. And an iron that I needed when I first moved out into my apartment. Now see, having everything within reach, you can still just grab what you want. It doesn't have to be completely organized. Lord knows I wouldn't ask you for that of you. But get your things in reach when you start using the glue gun. Because I have walked off once or twice without remembering to turn off the glue gun till later. Lucky thing I didn't burn down the house. So don't do that. Don't play a Tanya and I'll almost burn down your house. That's not cool. If you want to pick a flower that's going to cover a lot of wire, carnations are good for this. And they're pretty cheap to get. Like I said, Amazon, Walmart online, Temu. Now watch Temu, because some of their stuff, they've got it priced 2 or 3 different prices and it's the same item. So keep an eye out on that. You don't want to get scalped. Now see, I have a problem with this flower. You see how it's trying to come apart on me? And you can see I'm going to put an accent flower. What I'll do is I'll take one of these little ones. This, for example. No, it's too big. Bad example. I'm trying to get something you can see against the... Okay. I'll take an accent flower, you just pop it off if you don't want it on the thing. And since that carnation is trying to fall apart in that area, I'll just place me an accent flower. Something like that. Now, if you don't like that type of thing, don't do it. This is what I'm doing for my niece. This is not going to be everybody's taste. Her favorite color is yellow. For Christmas, I did painted a couple of angel candle holders, and then I went to Dollar Tree, and I got her some of those LED battery-operated taper candles, and I put those with it in the gift bag, so that she has a centerpiece for next Christmas for her kitchen table, for her dining room table. You can do stuff like this for gifts, but that's my tips, and this is how far I've gotten so far. Now see, that fell off, and there was too much glue on the back. That does happen. This was just sitting on there, that's why it fell off. But if you want to check to make sure your flowers are on, don't be afraid to kind of give it a shimmy shake to double check, and if something is loose, you'll be able to tell, and you can tack it down. You can also use super glue in addition to hot glue. That is not going to hurt, or E6000. Now the difference is the hot glue is going to give you an instant hold. The E6000 or super glue is going to give you a long lasting hold. So you can use those in combination. It's not going to hurt you. It's not going to hurt your project. It's not going to send off fumes. You're safe to do that. And it will help hold it better. I hope you have a good time crafting your projects. Bye, guys.